understand that some
41 NBC, WMGT, clear, accurate to.
Next on the news at 6. A Macon mother is arrested and charged for beating and killing her toddler. We spoke to neighbors today about that crime. Plus, adding insult to injury, severe thunderstorms moved into the devastated town of Moore, Oklahoma today as people there begin burying those they lost.
From 41 NBC News, your first alert, no-wait weather.
After seeing our own thunderstorms last night, they are long gone. A beautiful afternoon, plenty of sunshine, only a few clouds moving through the area for now. We'll see those good-looking weather conditions for the foreseeable future. We'll talk about your 7-day coming up here in just a little bit. For now, we're in the 80s. We'll be in the 50s and 60s overnight. Low 80s tomorrow. Humidity is gone. Your 7-day, it's on the way.
Covering Macon, Warner Robins, and all of Middle Georgia. You're watching 41 NBC News at 6.
Thank you for joining us this evening for the news at 6. I'm Ashley Manelli.
And I'm Andrew Reeser. A Macon woman is charged with murder in the death of her 3-year-old child. She's accused of beating him to death.
Jamisha Reed made her first appearance in court today, but remained silent in front of the judge. 41 NBC's Skylar Henry joins us live from Reed's home with more on this investigation. Skylar, what do we know so far?
And I'm here right now in front of Jamisha Reed's home on Mutual Avenue in Macon. We know that this case is no longer a first-degree child cruelty charge. Police say that when they got to the scene, they found Reed's son Jakari's body lifeless and unresponsive, and they quickly found out there was more to the story.
We've got cell phone video of the police scene right after officers responded to Wednesday's 911 call. Jamisha Reed is charged with the murder of her 3-year-old son Jakari. She made her first appearance in front of a judge on Wednesday and remained silent. According to the Macon Police Incident Report, Reed called 911 and said her son had passed out after possibly drinking nail polish remover. But the responding officer wrote in that same report they didn't smell anything around the child. I knocked on the door to her home, and Reed's girlfriend, who didn't want to be interviewed, said they were new to the area. Neighbors say Reed and her family moved into the home about a week ago. The Macon Police Department sent a release saying that after the child was carried to the Medical Center of Central Georgia, doctors discovered injuries to his body and head.
I heard what appeared to be like someone was getting a whooping, a really bad whooping, but I just thought it was an older child.
Carol Vassar has lived in the neighborhood for 5 years. She says she's never seen so many police cars at one time by her home.
No, we didn't know. We don't know them. Everybody like close-knit around here. We know everybody and basically know what's going on. So it's not like something like that to happen. It's a kid-friendly neighborhood.
Vassar says her son is the one who told her that the ambulance was outside and that something was going on.
I kind of felt bad because, you know, we live in this neighborhood, and if we hear stuff like that, we just really need to pay attention to what's going on in your neighborhood. God bless them. God bless them. And we're going to pray for her and her family, too.
Now, I spoke with Bibb County Coroner Leon Jones, who told me that when he told Reed that her son had died, she didn't say anything. She was unresponsive. Now, her next court date is on June 6th, and stay with 41 NBC for the very latest. For now, reporting live in Macon, Skylar Henry, 41 NBC News.
A tip from a Bibb County principal leads to his brother being arrested for murdering their parents and sibling. Now, this heartbreaking story comes from Augusta. Appling Middle School principal Steve Jones called the Richmond County Sheriff's Office and told investigators he hadn't heard from his family since Monday. Deputies went to check on them and found a lot of blood inside their home. The Sheriff's Office says the 3 victims had been shot at least once, and their bodies were found burning in a field. Deputies arrested 26-year-old Ryan Jones and charged him with 3 counts of murder and possession of a firearm during a crime. Investigators are still waiting for dental confirmation to officially identify the victims, but they believe the remains that were found were of Jones's parents, Roosevelt and Edna Jones, and his brother Russell. Authorities don't have a motive yet. We'll be sure to keep you updated with the latest.
Georgia's insurance commissioner paid a visit to Macon today to talk about how the Affordable Care Act will impact Georgians. Ralph Hudgens spoke to the Uptown Macon Rotary Club today. The new federal law kicks in next year and mandates everybody has to have health insurance. If you're caught without it, you could be penalized. Hudgens disagrees with the act and says it will hurt the younger generation who could see their premium prices double.
Those are the people that are really going to see
their rates dramatically increased, and insurance companies are beginning to call that rate shock, is what they're going to suffer when they see their policies and their premium notices January 1st of 2014.
Hudgens tells us the state attorney general is ready to file a lawsuit on January 2nd of next year, asking for an injunction to stop the implementation of the Affordable Care Act. We'll be sure to keep you updated as this story develops.
After delaying the decision, the Bibb County Commission voted to approve a firm for insurance consulting services for the new government, but it came with strong opposition from Commissioner Lonzie Edwards. In a 4-to-1 vote, the commissioners decided to use BB&T to help put together employee benefits packages for the new government. Edwards felt the bidding process was flawed and the firm Gallagher Benefit Services should have been awarded the job.
I think they're in a position to save us money and do this work if they had been given the chance by the transition task force. And the other thing is that based on my understanding of the request for proposals, they were the only firm that complied with what that document required.
I had initial concerns when it was originally presented to the commission. I had those questions answered. I had my issues resolved, and I put my faith in the judgment of the task force because they looked at all the information, and I supported their decision.
Macon City Council also voted in favor of BB&T. Commissioner Bechtel says the firm has to have the benefits package ready to go by October so employees can enroll in the program.
Well, tonight's your last chance to hear about a new Bibb County charter school, Academy for Classical Education. A public forum is going on at the Rosewood Ballroom. That's going to be at 170 College Street in Macon. It starts at 7 p.m. The forum is being hosted by the school's founders, former Bibb County educators Laura Perkins and Esterine Stokes, and that school is set to open in the fall of 2014. Well, in a major address today in Washington on what many still call the global war on terror, President Obama announced a new policy to wind the war down.
He says we are back to where we were before 9/11 in less danger, and that remaining on a war footing will harm the nation. NBC's Steve Handelsman has the latest.
President Obama said the terrorist threat has changed and our fight against it ought to be scaled back.
A perpetual war through drones or special forces or troop deployments will prove self-defeating. This war, like all wars, must end.
Another 9/11, he said, looks less likely, even though terrorists are still active.
But if dealt with smartly and proportionally, these threats need not rise to the level that we saw on the eve of 9/11.
With bin Laden dead, al-Qaeda decimated in Pakistan, and weakened in Yemen by U.S. drone attacks, President Obama laid out new guidelines. Drone strikes to be used only to prevent attacks, and only with near certainty that no civilians will be killed. But he won't stop using drones.
The results would be more U.S. deaths, more Black Hawks down, more confrontations with local populations.
Homegrown Islamic terror suspected in Boston is the growing threat.
The best way to prevent violent extremism inspired by violent jihadists is to work with the Muslim American community, which has consistently rejected terrorism.
The president is sending more inmates back to their home countries from the U.S. terror prison in Guantanamo, Cuba, agreeing in part with a protester who disrupted him at National Defense University. Mr. Obama pushed again to close Gitmo, a move some Republicans support, but they're upset by the president scaling back the war on terror.
To somehow argue that al-Qaeda is, quote, on the run comes from a degree of unreality that, to me, is really incredible.
But scaling back the war is the new policy of the commander-in-chief. I'm Steve Handelsman, NBC News, Washington.
Coming up on the news at 6, did you know that giving blood just once could save up to 3 lives? Up next, we're going to give you details on a Memorial Day blood drive where you can step in to help save a life.
Plus, heavy rains are impeding progress in the cleanup process in Moore, Oklahoma. We have the latest from that storm-ravaged city.
But first, in this week's Sports Spotlight, we're going to introduce you to a Middle Georgia man who's boxing his way to the top. Stay with us.
41 NBC News is brought to you by Hutchinson Auto Mall.
It's been building for months, and it's about to rock Middle Georgia. It's 5-star Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram's Value Explosion. New 2013 Ram pickup, sale priced $18,900. Ram Quad, just $20,009. Ram Crew, only $22,900. Need credit help? Our 5-star credit network is your solution. Visit drive5star.com. You deserve 5-star service, selection, and value. We're 5-star Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Experience the difference. Macon and Warner Robins. Drive5star.com.
You know, it's funny. We've never talked about saving energy. But somehow, she just knew.
Hi folks, Jeff Smith here at Jeff Smith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Perry, exit 135 off I-75. It's springtime, the weather's beautiful. What does that mean? It's time for us to kick some butts. What does that mean for you? If you've been to a dealer in Middle Georgia, anywhere, and they wanted to sell you the car, SUV, or truck of your dreams, and they couldn't, they said, we'd love to, but you owe too much on your trade. But we can't get to your payment. Come to Jeff Smith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram right now, and we'll kick all those butts during the Kicking Butt sale. Jeff Smith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Perry, we care.
Hutchinson makes luxury even more affordable during the Luxury Construction Sales Event with $6,500 off MSRP on the Cadillac XTS sedan. The XTS offers a bold look at what the future holds, and for a limited time, there's $6,500 off MSRP or a full $8,000 off MSRP on Cadillac ATS if you act now. Take the 169 exit off 75. We're next to Outback and Carrabba's, Hutchinson Auto Mall, making luxury affordable.
Welcome back to the news at 6. Well, a Middle Georgia boxer is back home in Macon after making it to the final round last week in a national tournament in Utah. 41 NBC's Tucker Sargent introduces us to him in this week's Sports Spotlight.
5 days a week, you can find Malik Montgomery here at the Middle Georgia Amateur Boxing Club. Malik and his 2 brothers train here under their father, Michael. Last month, Michael took his 3 sons and other boxers from around the state to a regional competition in Knoxville, Tennessee. Team Georgia dominated. All 9 members advanced to the Golden Gloves National Tournament in Salt Lake City.
It was electrifying. I mean, we were ready to bang it out.
The team brought home 3 medals in all, and Malik boxed his way into the final round, even though he'd injured both his arms earlier in the tourney.
It was a muscle that was tight that was messing with me on my left arm, and in my back arm, it was just hurting where it was like swollen.
Using life lessons learned through his training, Malik fought through the pain.
It went hard first round, felt like I pulled out the first round, and then towards the beginning of the second round, my injury started catching up to me and I started fatiguing. And last round, it was just basically, I just moved around and was jabbing, and I thought I did enough to pull it out, but I didn't.
Despite a runner-up finish in Utah, Malik still has his eyes set on competing in the 2016 Olympics. His mom, Teresa, is behind him 100%.
He's decided, he's determined that's what he's going to do, so now it's full speed ahead.
In Macon, with this week's Sports Spotlight, Tucker Sargent, 41 NBC News.
And we wish him the best of luck. Right now, Malik is training for the Ringside World Tournament that's in Independence, Missouri. That'll start on July 31st. But if you want to catch Malik and some of those other Middle Georgia boxers in action before they leave the state again, there's going to be a tournament right here in Macon on July 6th. For more information, you can check out our website, 41NBC.com.
Before you make plans to cook out or hit the pools on Monday, there's a way you can give back to our community and help save lives. 41 NBC is sponsoring a Memorial Day blood drive. I sat down with Kristen Kiefer with the American Red Cross to learn more about how donating impacts our community. Of course, we are so excited here at 41 to be a part of this great cause. Tell us again why it's so important during these summer months, especially for people to come out and donate.
Well, what we typically see is that we collect about 20% of our total blood supply from our high schools and colleges, and so when school's out for the summer and people are off on vacations, we typically experience quite a drop in blood donations.
And here in Middle Georgia, why, what's the need like?
Here in Middle Georgia, we need to collect about 1,200 pints a day to supply the about 120 hospitals that we serve.
That's a lot of blood.
Yes.
I know a lot of people have some fears when it comes to getting that needle stuck in them. What do you want to tell them about the process, why it's so easy?
The process itself is quick and easy. When you get to a blood drive, you sign in, you go, you read over a little material, you go into your health history, you get a free mini physical, you get your iron checked, your blood pressure checked. And then the donation process itself only takes about 6 to 10 minutes.
And on Monday, we're going to be sponsoring that blood drive with you all. Tell us some of the locations where they can find, they can go to donate on Monday.
We'll be having the blood drive at Bass Pro Shops in Macon, at Amstar Cinemas in Macon as well, at the Galleria Mall in Centerville, and at Kinetics in Milledgeville.
And so we've got all those locations. If they want to find out more about how they can get registered, do they have to register ahead of time?
You don't have to register ahead of time. Walk-ins are always welcome. But if you need more information, you can visit redcrossblood.org and type in sponsor code 41NBC and be taken straight to the page for the blood drive.
Well, that sounds good to me. We always like to use that 41NBC logo. Anything else you want to add about the blood drives this summer, or coming out, and why it's so important to give blood?
The need is constant. Every 2 seconds, someone in the United States needs blood. So it's a huge need to fill, but we do our best every day.
Well, thank you so much for coming on to talk about it, and we're looking forward to Monday.
Thank you so much.
Of course. On Monday, 41NBC's Daybreak anchor Kyle Warnke and I will be live from Bass Pro Shops during that blood drive. But if you can't make it there, you can head to any of these locations on your screen. The most important thing is to just get out and help us save lives. You can get all the information you'll need, including where to go, on our website, 41NBC.com.
Temperatures this afternoon, we're back in the mid-80s. As you can see, pretty much about where we should be for this time of the year. The storms are gone. We did pretty well with the rainfall. Some locations over 3 inches of rain. We'll talk about that and what does the weekend have in store for us. We'll see you in 2 minutes.
41 NBC News is brought to you by Hutchinson Kia.
Is a new car or truck in your future? Well, the future is now at 5-Star Nissan.
41 Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Chris Simmons has your first alert forecast from the 5-Star Automotive Storm Center.
All right, everybody, so a good-looking afternoon. We saw plenty of sunshine today. Temperatures, yeah, they were still warm. Occasionally, I guess you can say hot. We're in the mid and some cases into the upper 80s. For most of us, though, it is all about to change. We're on autopilot, it looks like. Warm but a dry Friday, so the humidity will be much less tomorrow. A perfect weekend, and then that's going to roll into next week. Maybe a couple of thunderstorms late next week. But here's some of the rainfall totals in the last day or two. You can see down to our south and east and the portions of Telfair County, about 2.8 inches of rain. Some locations, look at just to our west. In Crawford County, we moved all the way across Bibb County last night. 3 to 5 inches of rain in some localized spots, and then about 3 inches of rain just south of Milledgeville. For the most part, most of us, about 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches of rain. So, needless to say, we're about 10 inches above for the year. We're doing pretty good. Nothing on First Alert Radar right now. It is pretty quiet for most of the state of Georgia and really most of the southeast. A couple of thunderstorms up in the Carolinas right now. For the most part, it's a pretty good afternoon. Again, humidity will be much less going forward into your weekend. Today, still a little humid outside right now. Mid-60s, dew point still up near 60 degrees. Winds west at about 10 miles per hour. For most of us, again, we are in the mid, occasionally upper 80s. We did hit about 88 up in Milledgeville this afternoon. McRae's at 88, same thing in Vanna, and 87 right now in Montezuma. So we'll slowly cool off once obviously we lose the heating of the day. We'll be in the low mid-70s. Mostly clear, a warm evening out there. For most of us, temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60 tomorrow morning, so a little bit cooler than the last couple of mornings. And tomorrow afternoon, perfect as we roll through the end of May. Low 80s, so let's say upper 70s to low 80s. Some locations might still stay in the 70s. Mostly sunny. It's going to be warm, but it'll be dry. The humidity will be gone from the air for most of us. Stormcast for the next couple of days. Not much going on. A beautiful Friday that's going to roll into a beautiful weekend. And then as we go into Monday and Memorial Day, we should be in the mid-80s, right around 85, 86 degrees. Your 5-Star Automotive 7-day forecast will see those temperatures again back in the low 80s as we go through the next couple of days. Plenty of sunshine. Check this out, though. Huh? How about some mid and upper 40s overnight Friday and overnight Saturday? A good-looking weekend, and again, Back to the mid-80s we go for Monday, and it's smooth sailing of the forecast. As Andrew said last night, it might be a pool weekend. We'll be right back.
There's no place you can't.
The tragic situation in Moore, Oklahoma got even more difficult today as rough weather moved through the area.
Certainly the last thing they need. It put a strain on recovery teams and survivors trying to clean up the hardest hit areas. NBC's Jay Gray has the latest.
This time it was the driving rains that rushed across central Oklahoma.
Showers and thunderstorms still moving over the same areas again and again. This includes more
Flash floods.
Mother Nature, it's a 1-2 punch.
Another shot to the gut for an area already staggered by the violent uppercut delivered late Monday.
This poor place, the rain. I mean, first you got the tornado, and everything's getting rained on.
Making things more difficult, if that's even possible, as the cleanup and recovery continues here.
There are a lot of people that are still suffering and will continue to face lots of challenges moving forward.
Still, many can't help but look back. These images from the storm are perhaps the best look at the sheer power of the EF5 tornado. Charles Gafford captured the intensity through the door of his storm cellar as the twister ripped through his neighborhood.
This whole monster just comes sliding by, and I ended up getting the whole thing. My jaw was just dropped. It was pieces of houses flying above your eyes, and it's indescribable.
Even safe, sheltered beneath the earth that was being torn apart, Gafford could feel the power of the funnel.
A rumbling in the ground that just turns your stomach.
But the most sickening feeling here is for the lost. The first of 24 funerals was today. 9-year-old Antonia Candelaria was laid to rest. First responders found the third grader in the rubble at Plaza Towers Elementary. She was hugging her very best friend, Emily Knatzer, who will be buried later this week. Jay Gray, NBC News, Moore, Oklahoma.
All right, not much we can say after that.
No.
Pretty sad. Well, when we come back, we'll have another look at tonight's forecast for us here in Middle Georgia with Chris.
Stay with us.
From 5-Star Cadillac Buick, your invitation to experience luxury with advanced innovation and class-leading safety. Right now, you can drive the 2013 Buick Verano, $19,900. New 2013 Buick LaCrosse, $27,900. The luxurious 2013 Cadillac ATS, on sale, $27,900. Visit drive5star.com. You deserve 5-star service, selection, and value. We're 5-Star Chevy Cadillac Buick GMC. Experience the difference. Next to the base, Warner Robins.
Drive5star.com.
Holiday pricing all month and oil changes for life. Oh, what a Honda. Walsh Honda holiday pricing now. New 2013 Accord Sport, 18-inch alloy wheels. Drive $199 a month and lifetime oil changes. New 2013 Odyssey EXL. Drive $299 a month and lifetime oil changes. Holiday pricing now and oil changes for life. Oh, what a Honda. Walsh Honda and WalshHonda.com. Get what you want at Walsh.
Give me a Honda.
Looking for the best value in a midsize sedan? The advantage goes to Honda. Honda Accord has more standard horsepower than Toyota Camry. It earned the top score for...
All right, so Memorial Day weekend's coming up. It's my Friday, so what do you guys got planned for the weekend? Anything fun?
I was thinking about hitting the pool because the weather's supposed to be nice.
Yeah, I don't really have anything planned this weekend.
It's going to be a nice, relaxing weekend.
Maybe a chillaxing weekend.
I'm supposed to go up to Lake Lanier.
Oh, really?
On
Been
Saturday.
Lanier before?
I've never been.
Beautiful lake.
I heard.
I've never been either.
Exploring other parts of Georgia.
Well, on Memorial Day, we'll be here. So.
Yeah.
Maybe
we'll be at the blood
maybe we'll
drive.
have to have a cookout here at work or something.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
I think Andrew can fund that.
I think that sounds good.
I don't know about that.
So what is the weather going to look like here for everyone else who's in the area?
Just for you, I left in
I
the
love
smooth
it.
sailing part. It really looks like it shouldn't be the end of May, to be quite honest, until we get to next week. But good looking forecast with plenty of sunshine.
And we need to do it. It's a smooth sailing.
Right.
Thanks for watching the news at 6.
He never participates.
We'll
Why?
see you back here at 11. He doesn't like us.
No chicken.
Close count.